Okay, so welcome back. We're now on Linux, well, Ubuntu to be more specific, and we now want to put our Google Drive on Linux here. Now, because Ubuntu has a GNOME interface, we can actually have it that it goes straight into the GNOME interface. I'm going to show you that first. That is free, it's built in, and it works quite well. The second option that I'm going to show you is that if you need team drive or shared drives to have on your computer as well, Google Drive doesn't obviously come with this with Linux. They've got a Windows version, they've got a Mac version, but they don't have a Linux version. So I'm going to show you both of these options and just stick around. The first thing I want to do is go in here and I want to have my Google Drive here on my computer. What I'm going to do is this. Push the super key or the Windows key, and I am going to type in online accounts, which brings us this. Go into that, and I'm now going to click on Google here. And now you just sign in with your normal Google account. So now GNOME wants to obviously have access to our Google account, but remember that there's other things that come in, not just your Google account. It can read your emails, it can do your Google Drives, it can do your printers, it can do your contacts, it can do your calendar. So once you know what you want and you're happy with that, then push allow. So now I don't want to have all of these things. I don't want to have mail, calendar, contacts, documents. All I want are my files. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close that, and open up our files. And over here, in the bottom left corner, you'll see this thing that says this. Mount and open this. So if I click on it, it takes a couple of seconds at first, and then it brings through everything from my Google Drive. And if you want to go into something like Software Company V5, and you double click on it, it then opens directly into your Google Sheets, and you can start typing on it. Obviously, if you change this and you do something else, it'll synchronize down. It could also have a PDF, for instance. And this is a local version of the file, and it's opening up in Adobe Reader. And if that's all you want, that's perfect. It's there for you in Linux under the GNOME interface. If we're going to do a second thing though, and I'm just going to remove this so that you can see. I'm going to remove it from the online accounts and say remove account. So the second option is what is called Insync. And it's not that banned from the 90s. It is InsyncHQ.com. And if you go there, you have this option to download for Linux. They've got Linux, Windows, and Mac. So I'm going to download the Linux version, but this is not a free software. There's a 15-day trial that you can do. Otherwise, the pricing is as stated over here. There are two types. There's Prime and there's Teams. What Prime does is it allows you to synchronize your Google or Microsoft account, and it's a one-time payment. So you buy this for $30, and that is a lifetime payment for you, for your one user. Every single time you want to add something, if you want to add a Google account or a Microsoft account, let's say you have your personal Gmail with Google Docs in there, you have your Office 365, you have your G Suite account, all of those would be $30. And then you can add all of them and synchronize them. Under Teams, it adds all of this functionality, plus it allows you to do synced shared drives, SharePoint, and sync your network drives. So for $50, for a once-off payment, that is brilliant. And once you finish synchronizing, it'll synchronize for you forever. Okay, so I'm going to do the Teams one, and I say try for 15 days. I say download. I'm on Ubuntu, but if you want Debian, Mint, or Fedora, they're also there, and all of the different versions are there too. If you also want to do it via repository, you can add a repository here, or either apt or yum, and you can download it there. I'm just going to download this installer. It's about 135 megs. I'm going to say keep, click on it, and the package installer opens. So we're just going to say install here, and log in. So that's finished installing. Let's close this. If you go over here to the applications, you will see Insync, or you can start typing and you'll find Insync. I'm going to click on it. And we have the option to add either a Google Drive or OneDrive. If you want to add both, obviously you have to pay for both. But right now I'm just going to add Google Drive. It would like me to sign in, so I'm going to click on that. These are permissions that's going to be allowed, so I'm going to say OK. Perfect, and that's logged in. Let's say next. Now it says, where do you want to synchronize it to? Now, if you've got two different hard drives, you might want to change the placing of this, but I'm kind of happy with this. So it's home, pull, and then Insync. So I'm going to push next. So before you sync, would you like to configure ignore rules and docs conversions? Yeah, and we're going to say configure. Now, the nice thing about Insync is that it allows you to ignore certain things, like specific file names here, specific folder names, and specific paths. So if you want to just have a folder name removed, and let's say not my folder, and you want to sort of like this MP3 file synchronized, or a path that goes to a certain thing, you can ignore all of this. And let's push next. And this is what sets Insync apart from just a normal Google G Suite synchronization, is it can do docs conversion. So you can either say do not convert Google Documents, you can say convert them to Microsoft Office, or convert to Open Document. Now this works on the Windows, the Mac, and the Linux versions. So if you have a local version of Office on your computer, Microsoft Office, and you want to use Word or Excel rather than the online versions, you can say convert to Microsoft Office, and then you can work in a native Excel format and on your computer. But I'm going to not do that, and I'll push next. What do you want to synchronize to your computer? So you can obviously say select all, you can say just select that folder or not select that folder, and I'm perfectly happy with that, so I'm going to push sync. Then it's going to say shared with me. So whatever folders I have shared with me, or files I've shared with me, I think these are from Lawrence, so I can click on those and I can push sync, and I can do a synchronize for the test of the website as well. And then under shared drives, let's look at what we have. Oh, we have the finance drive, so I can click on that and push synchronize on that too. And it says, where do you want to synchronize it to? Do you want to merge it with another folder or drive? I don't suggest that. Inside another folder or drive, I don't suggest that. But base folder is perfect, and I'll show you what that looks like perfectly now. So that is synchronizing. And let's open up our documents here, and we can see what this looks like. So in the previous place, it was in the bottom here, but this is actually part of your Linux now. So under the home folder, you have the Insync folder, and then you have your G Suite account. And then if you've got an Office 365 or your personal Gmail account, all of the folders will be listed there separately, which is quite nice. And then under the G Suite, I've got my Google Drive, I've got my shared drive, and I've got my shared with me folder. So I can go in through to all of these, and I can say, ooh, I like this. And I can play around, and I can open up Software Company V5 again, and that opens up beautifully. You can also say, I want this PDF, double click on that, and it opens up beautifully too. So a couple more things in Insync that I'd like to just point out to you. Over here, you can add another Google Drive account. You can add your OneDrive account here. And under Preferences, you can say, how does it start? Login, do you want notifications? What kind of Zoom? If you've got proxies on your network, you can do that. And what do you want to do with your trash? And then under Feed here, it will tell you what's actually happened. What's been downloaded. You can say, I only want to look at a certain account. I only want to have all the accounts. What type of shares, what additions, deleted. And it works beautifully and shows you a lot of stuff about your Google Drive that you might not have seen. So give it a thought. And if this is what you want, and if you are working on Linux, it might be what you want. It really is a very, very powerful system and really, really simple to use. So if you have any questions about this, please chuck them into the Q&A. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next lesson.